Hello dearest, welcome back to my channel. This is Mafeli and I am back. Today I'm going to share with you how to make savory chips, also known as chin chin recipe. This recipe will satisfy your cravings in this coming summer with any assorted drink of your choice. Are you there with me? Join me and let's get started. In this recipe, I'm going to use bread flour, onion, garlic, salt, margarine, egg, and water. So next, I'm going to grate my garlic and half of the onion. I'm not going to use all the onion. I'm only grating a half of it. So with this, if you have blender, you may cut half of the onion, add a half cup of water into it and then blend it with the garlic nicely. But if you do not have blender, then you may grate it like the way I am doing it. I am doing this so that everyone can make it. For me, I have the blender, but I'm using this method so that if you don't have blender, it will be easier for you to make your savory chips at home without any struggle. Now, if you're new to my channel, we'll be delighted to have you join us by subscribing to my YouTube channel, turning on the bell so that you'll be the first to be notified when I upload any video, and also like and comment on my recipe. So now I am done grating a half of it, and next I'm going to set them aside nicely.
Continental food mistress, international food.
Next, in a bowl, I'll add my bread flour. Next, I'll add the salt and mix everything together until it is well combined. Once it's well combined, next I'll go ahead and add the eggs into it and begin to mix with my hands. You know, when you are working with flour, there is no way your hands will not mess up. It's one of the things in baking. So if we are not using spatula, obviously if we are using your hands from the beginning, your hands are going to mess up. So it's a normal thing. Do not worry at all. So once it is mixed like this, next I'll go ahead and add the margarine to it and mix everything together until it's well combined. I will leave everything in the description box for you all to check it out so that it will help you to make the savory chin chin recipe. So now just look at the way it look. I'm done. So I created a well in it and then added my blended or grated onion, and also I'm going to rinse the grater a little bit with some of the water that I am using for the recipe, and then I'll start to mix everything together until the dough begins to form. I'm going to add the water little by little on the dry part so that I will know where my dough is getting at. This will help me not to overmix my dough with a lot of water. So I'm going to go ahead and keep on adding the water little by little, just like this, until the dough is formed. And in total, I used 1.5 cup of water, everything in total. Okay, I was having 2 cups of water, but I used only 1.5 of the water to mix the dough. So please take note of that when you are mixing your dough so that you will not overmix it with water. So once the dough is formed, just look at the way it looks. It's very nice and beautiful. So I am mixing it in the bowl just like this. And once it is like this, just look at the texture. This is the texture that I am looking for. It is very, very nice and perfect. So at this point, I'm just kneading it a little bit inside the bowl, and then I will flour my working board and transfer the dough on it and give it a good kneading to make sure that it is well formed and very, very uniformed. So you see me kneading it. This is because I want to create a gluten. We are using bread flour, so I need to knead it to create a gluten and also make sure that everything is well uniformed and very, very nice to my satisfaction. So I'll keep on kneading it like this, and I will show you how it look once I get the desired texture. Just look at the way it look now. This is the texture I am looking for. It's very nice and perfect. So I will just shape it nicely and then round it to form a ball just like this. Next, I'm going to divide it into two, and then I will fold each of them into a beautiful ball shape nicely.
Continental food mistress. International food madam.
Manfeli's kitchen fe fe fe.
So once I am done folding it into a ball shape, I will sprinkle a little bit of flour on the board, place it on it, and then begin to roll it. Here you want to roll your dough to be flat. So once you are rolling, you turn the other side. You flip it over and then roll the other side as well, just like the way you see me doing it, just like this. So I'll keep on doing it this way until I get a flat, beautiful dough, and I will show you the thickness I am going for. Here we want it to be very flat so that when we cut our dough, the dough will come out very small, not big. So I'll roll it to my desired thickness that I am looking for. This is the thickness that I am looking for. So I'm going to show you how it looks. This is how the thickness look. Just look at that. Yeah, it is very flat and nice. So at this point, I'm going to use the knife to divide it. So you see the way I'm dividing, you can divide it into three depending on you how long you want the chin chin to become. So I'm going to show you three methods you use to cut your chin chin. First, you can use the scissors to cut them like this. So even if you finish dividing them, you can give to your kids and give them the scissors to cut them for you nicely. So just look at the way it looks. It's very nice. This is the first method you can use, and I'll show you the second one. The second method, you can place it down and then use the same knife to slice it nicely, just like this, in a tiny slices, like the way you see me doing it, and then you are done. So this is the second method. I'll also show you the third method. The third method, after rolling, you can use your pizza cutter or any pastry cutter to cut it, and then cut across in slices, just like the way you see me doing it. Just look at the way it look. You cut across in slices just like this until you are done. And this is my best method. It's very easy and nice, and also makes the work very, very simple. But any of the method you may use to cut your savory chin chin according to the way you prefer. Okay, so once I am done, I will sprinkle a little bit of flour on it. This is optional. Most of the time people like to sprinkle flour because they feel like it's sticking to each other, but to me, I don't normally sprinkle flour, because once you sprinkle the flour, and the flour is a lot, when you are frying, it will make a lot of foamy and then can mess up your stove. So to me, it is optional. You may decide to add some flour to separate them, or you may not. So at this point, I'm going to drop a little of them inside the oil, and once it pop up immediately, it means our oil is ready to receive the dough. So I will transfer the dough into it just like this, and then I will use the spatula to separate it whilst I'm frying it. Just look at that. And this one, I did not even add flour to it. If you don't add the flour, you can still separate them when you are frying them. You just use the spatula to shake them inside the oil, and everything will be separated very nicely, and fry until it is golden brown. So I will keep on doing this way until it is golden brown, and then once it is golden brown like this, that means it is ready. So once it is ready, next I'm going to take them out of the oil and then put them in a paper lining tray or a paper lining bowl. The paper lining will help to absorb all the excess oil in it. So just look at the way it looks. It is very, very nice and beautiful. So at this point, I'm taking it out of the oil and then repeat the same process. And here are the tips you need to know. Tips number one: if you flour your dough with a lot of flour, when you are frying it, it's going to make the oil a lot of foamy and sometimes will even float and mess up the whole place. So do not flour your dough with a lot of flour, else you are going to have a problem when you are frying your chin chin. Tips number two: if you don't flour your cut dough, when you are frying them, you can still separate them when you are frying, just like the way you see me doing it. You can still separate them with a spatula, and then they will all come out single until you are done frying. So there is no need to flour your cut dough with a lot of flour to prevent you from messing up and having problem when you are frying. Okay, so as you can see, I am done frying the second batch, and I'll repeat the same process until I am done frying all of them. And once I am done frying all of them, that means it is ready to be served and enjoy with any assorted drink of your choice. This is so easy, delicious, and makes life easier at home. Your children will not even cry for hunger when they come back from school. Everything will be easy. So just look at the way it sounds. It is very, very nice. Can you hear that? The sound is very, very nice. Try this and give me the feedback in the comments section. Thank you all so much for watching, and I believe you enjoyed this video. If you did, give your girl a thumbs up. Subscribe and share if you have not done that yet. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to my channel. This is Mafeli. Thank you for subscribing, and always remember, at Mafeli we believe in the old adage, your health is your wealth, so be mindful of what you eat. Nyame boa a yɛkɛyi biara ko. Bye.